Hi everyone, Jason here from eGolf Megastore. Today I'm going to be reviewing the Epic Pro Iron. This is the baby of Dr. Alan Hocknell, who is the head of research and development for Callaway. He was tasked by Chip Brewer, the CEO, to come up with an iron that he would really like to play and put in his own bag. So let's take a look at the technology that's gone into this club and discuss a few of those things. There's three main key areas that I'm going to look at, specifically involved in technology. The first one that we'll look at is this exo cage. We've seen it in the Big Bertha OS. And basically what that is doing is it's just stiffening up the body of the golf club vertically. So that's allowing for the face to take on a little bit more load and therefore just increasing the ball speeds. So when I'm talking about technology, I want you guys to understand the purpose and the point of that technology. And ultimately that exo cage is designed to help with ball speeds and just really help with forgiveness. The second thing that we'll look at is, you actually can't see it, but it's the 360 face cup technology. It's something that we've seen in Callaway irons before. And this is a new and improved version of the 360 face cup technology. And what they've done is they've made the rim a little bit thinner than before, allowing that to flex a little bit more readily or a little bit easier, as well as allowing it to flex a little bit more consistently. And again, the purpose of that is again for ball speed. So this club is really designed to give a little bit more distance and also to give you a little bit more consistency on your off-centered strikes. The last thing that we'll look at, you can't actually see it, but it's called the internal wave technology. Simply put, it's just a weighting structure or mechanism that is going to affect and influence the launch, spin, and feel of the golf club. The process that they are using is a little bit different to how they've done it before, and is one of the ways why the cost is a little bit higher of this golf club, as well as the fact that it's taking quite a bit more time. So they've got this metal injected molding that they use, and they are able to place quite a lot of weight in every club in a specific area in order to affect the launch angle of the club, the spin, as well as the feel. So it helps with unwanted vibrations. What that does is it's going to help with forgiveness and help with launch. The other thing is important to note, it's a progressive center of gravity change. In the longer irons, we're going to see a lower down center of gravity, which is really going to help you launch the longer irons, giving you a higher flight with the longer irons. And as the loft increases, so the center of gravity goes a little bit higher, just getting that more penetrating and controlled flight with the lower irons. So all of that said, the technology behind this club is very specific and has a specific purpose. It's all about getting a better looking club or a better player's club to go further and to have a little bit more forgiveness in it. So let me go ahead and hit this club and put that to the test. They've said and made these claims. So let me go ahead and just hit a few shots with this. As I set that down, it reminds me quite a lot of the Apex Pro iron, but just with a little bit of a thicker top line. So I like the look of that. It is a nice looking club. Let me give that a hit. Okay, so that wasn't my best hit at all. And I just want to look at a couple of things in the numbers. I've carried that 185 yards, which is a long, long way for me. My club head speed was 89 miles an hour. And something I want to talk about a little bit, which is, as I've watched a few reviews about this, is a lot of people have spoken about the spin rate and the spin rate being too low for a 7-iron. My spin rate on that is 4,496 RPM, which is really low, and that's substantially lower than a lot of the other reviewers. But something I want to note here for you guys, most of you guys who are watching this, if you're a mid-handicapper, if you're somebody who is battling a little bit with distance and you feel that you're curving the ball quite a lot, you're going to be delivering the golf club very differently to myself and some of the other reviewers. What we do in our swings is a lot of us, as we get into the ball, de-loft the club substantially. Therefore, we're changing what we call a spin loft, which is the angle of attack and your dynamic loft. And that is going to be one of the biggest influencing factors on creating spin. So we are delivering the club very differently. So what's happening is we're starting with less loft now with this club because it's a stronger loft, and now we're delivering it with even less loft. So therefore the spin is coming out lower. but you guys who are watching this are going to be probably delivering it. Most players will tend to deliver with more loft and probably cut across it a little bit and hitting down. Now, that's a generalization. Most of you probably do that. Some of you might not do that. But what you'll do is you'll create a lot more spin than most of us who are reviewing these things. So this is a club that will actually suit you and help you because it's reducing that spin. Now, something else, I've played like this for a long time. I've always de-lofted it even more than most players, and I've spun most of my irons, even with forged blade clubs. I'll spin a 7-iron at 5,500, and I've never ever had any issues on holding a green or battling to keep my consistency in terms of the pitch and rollout of a ball. I'm finding that I've never had an issue with that. So I don't think spinning it around the 5,000 to 5,500 is actually too much of an issue, personally. I've never seen issues with that. One of the things that it can affect a little bit more as you bring that spin loft down is it can affect the control of the shot quite a lot more. For most of people delivering with more spin loft, that'll help you. For somebody who delivers it like I do, it can affect my consistency a little bit, but that's also down to my swing. Anyway, having said all of that, I hope that gives you a little bit of an insight and help with spin rates. Let me just hit another one here. Okay, that was a substantially better strike, and I just pulled that one a little bit. Again, spin rate is really low again, 4,200. But another thing to note, I've really launched that really high. Even though this is a very strong loft, and some guys would say this is probably more of a 6-iron, which I wouldn't agree with that. It's flying like a 7-iron in terms of its height, if not a little bit higher than I used to hit a 7-iron at 112 feet, which is actually a little bit higher than I'd normally hit it. So it's flying really high, as well as the fact that I've got a 7-iron length in here, so my dispersion and control will be better than a 6-iron. Let me hit one more. Again, that's massive distance, 195 for me. That's a huge increase. Okay, no golf club is going to help that one. I hit that one a little bit fat. I'm really surprised. I got away with it, obviously hitting off a mat. So I hit that fat. I still hit it 182 carry, but I don't think that one would have gone out at 182 for sure outside. I hit that one fat. Overall, looking at the numbers, I'm really impressed by the golf club. It feels great. It's going a long way. It looks great as well. So the things that Callaway have said in the technology, for me, I'm really seeing them coming out here. I'm seeing a huge improvement in ball speed. My smash factors have been really high, even though, as I said, I hit that fat. That's 1.37 with a 7-iron. That's a very impressive smash factor. Got away with it because of the mat. Having said all of that about the numbers, I really think this is a golf club that's going to go a long way. I mean, I'm certainly averaging quite a lot more than I would normally. So for me, as I'm looking at a golf club like this, and as I've discussed, maybe some of the things that people would have issues with, maybe low spin, and the fact that it is a 6-iron as opposed to a 7-iron. One of the things I changed to was the XR Pro quite a few years ago, and what I found was I was hitting maybe 1.5 clubs less, and I found it much easier to hit an 8-iron than I did to hit a 7-iron, and a 7-iron to hit than a 6-iron. So I think the benefit of hitting it further actually outweighs some of the other things. If you're a player who's looking to get a better player's club that's going to give you a little bit more distance and a little bit more forgiveness, then this is certainly a club that you should be looking at. Again, the key to any club, especially when we're going to discuss the last point, is to get custom fit. Custom fitting will absolutely improve everything about the golf club. We can fine tune it to your swing, we can fine tune the club head and the specifics that we need in order to get you hitting it more consistently and just hitting it that little bit further too. The last point, and something I haven't mentioned, and there's quite a lot of hype about that, is this comes with a pretty high price tag. And a couple of the guys that I watched were saying, you know, it's double the price. Is it double the performance? Now, most of us would agree nobody's going to ever get double the performance out of any golf club. So nobody can even put that into the equation. But certainly, if you can gain 15 to 30%, probably what I'm finding there is I'm certainly gaining 10% yardage on my own current irons. So is that worth the money? Only you guys can answer that question, and I think it's something that you should have a look at. If you have the money, definitely come down, try and hit this golf club, and then we can put that in your hands and see if it's actually improving your game and will help improve your game. Thanks for watching. Really appreciate if you guys would leave some comments, give us a bit of interaction. If you like the video, please like. If you want to share the video, please go ahead and share that. Looking forward to seeing you guys. If you're in Dubai, come down and visit us at eGolf Megastore. We can chat about a few other things. Take care. See you soon.